Hello and welcome to another Elden Ring class build stream with me, Impact 101 Gaming, where we will be looking at the class build Gravity Warmage, using gravity to vanquish your enemies and overpowering everything in your path. A strategy using Gravity Sorceries paired with a sword lance, which was a new DMC weapon. And this build is a strength intelligence build. Before we dive into this build, I'd like to ask if you can follow my Twitch channel or drop a like and subscription onto my YouTube channel for the latest content. Thank you. I'll be adding all of the build specs into the description of the video, so please go and check that out. Right, onto this build. So for the preferred stats for this use of build, we'll be looking at a level 200 and for a new game plus. So we'll be looking at Vigor for about 50, Mind 35 plus, Endurance I'll say about 40 plus. The armour and the weapons for this build are quite heavy, so the more endurance the better. Strength, anything over 50 really, but a minimum of 32. Dexterity, you're looking at about 20, be more than efficient, but a minimum of 11 if you don't really fancy it. Intelligence, or anything over a 70, so 70 plus. The minimum intelligence you need for this build is about a 55. And Faith and Arcane can be anything, they don't really affect this class. So if we have a look at the flasks, so the flasks I'd use for this build, for the mix, for temporary boosting the magic attacks, and also enhancing the spontaneous guard. It just suits the class with the Greatshield very well. Definitely, due to the tanky nature of the class, you definitely want more health, Crimson Tears rather than Cerulean Tears for your magic. But you could probably go 9-5 as well, that would work. Talismans for this build, so you want the Grave Mass Talisman, that increases the sorceries for your gravity magic. Shorten spellcasting time, Radagon Icon. Shard of Alexandria for the Astel of War skill. And 2 you could pick through from this depending on your weight. So you could either have the Great Jar Arsenal, which increases your maximum equip load by quite a bit, or the Erdtree Favour +2, which is your max HP, stamina and equip load. This one works better at the moment with my endurance. I'm overweight if I don't have one, but if I can bring up my health and stamina, why not? Armour, you're looking at, there wasn't really any armour that boosted stats, so I just went on for a good looking armour, which Young Lion's armour is exactly that. So the weapon, heavy sword lance. So this is quite a thrusting kind of weapon. Dual wield, a lot faster, and got really good staggering capabilities, and it is excellent on horseback. The other thing you could use is the Astel of War. Do corkscrew gravity damage. Is excellent damage builder, and you can tank damage while in mid-air and using it, and it doesn't stagger you. I've also, with this, give it another look. So a Greatshield works really well with a thrusting weapon because you could do counter guards with the shields. and then Meteorite Staff for the Meteor magic boost. But you can also use the Glintstone Staff as well, Lusts. But it just has a better feel to the gravity aspect of the build. So magic wise, the Gravity Incantations, I'm only missing one, which I will add in after I get it. So a lot of these are just quite far distance. This one is more of a close-up one. Sucks things in. Rock Sling, just quick damage. Then you've got your meteorites. And the longer you hold on to the spell, the more meteorites that come out. But it does drain the magic. Right, so if we look into where we can get most of these weapons, armour and equipment. So the Young Lion set is pretty much an endgame armour set, because by defeating the last boss, Consort Radagon, the DLC final boss, you can then buy the from this location, you can then buy the armour from the finger reader at the round table. Weapons, Sword Lance. Sword Lance you get given by defeating Geas in the Shadowkeep back gate. He rides a boar with the Sword Lance and uses gravity attacks. It was a lot of fun to fight. You fight him in this big arena basically here. And the spinning gravity thrust Astel Wall comes with the Sword Lance. The way you get the Sword Lance is by trading the remembrance of the wild boar rider at the finger reader at the round table. The shield, you can pick any Greatshield. Really, they all pretty much do the same, unless obviously they come with a national wall. The one I've picked main is because of the colour scheme, so the black, the red, silver. It's pretty well with it. You could buy this one from the Hermit Merchant from this shack.
Well, divorce.
And it'll be there. So, looking at the Meteorite Staff, the staff itself can be found in Khalid. Roughly about this point here, within the ruins. Street of Sage Ruins it's called. You can also find a gravitational spell within the ruins. Show the thing from horseback. So just here up on the right, and after you kill those plants hanging from that window here, that's where you'll find the staff. And then just on the other side over here, just down the stairs here, there'll be a chest that you can open. Just here, that chest, by opening that chest, you can find the Rock Sling spell. So within the War Dead Catacombs, this is where you'll be able to find the Collapsing Star spell, which is this one here. While we're here, I'll show you a bit of... It's quite a fun area to test out some spells. Watch out for that. So the guard counter on this is very enjoyable to use. Oh. So yeah, you can find, it's underneath here, you drop down and you can find your way down to it. So the Meteorite, the Gravitational Missile spell you can find by killing a falling what's it called? Sorry, a falling star beast at the top of this finger hill in this crater here. This is a DLC spell that was added to the game. I'll give you a quick glimpse of it now. Load of hands running around here. Look at them all scattering along. See, it sucks everything in and big explosion. Yeah. Too many of them. But yeah, that's where you can find the Gravitational Missile spell. One of the last ones. Last spells that you can go and get is the Meteorite of Astel, which is the big Meteorite spell. And just go back and get these. Run away. Right. So that's the So, oh, try and fight all those. Right, Gravitational. So the what am I after? So within the snowy area or snowfields, is the Meteorite of Astel. Dropped by Astel Stars of the Darkness boss, found in the bottom of the cave. This cave here. That's where you'll find that spell. DLC. Let's fight some. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. I'll fight some other little bits for you, just to give you a glimpse of what this build can be capable of. So the guard counter is probably the best mechanism with this build. So the collapsing star is pretty good for flying enemies, because you can bring them back down to the ground. Anything gravitational pull wise is be devastating to certain enemies, especially near cliffs. So another horse one here, let's fight him on horseback. Definitely one of the best weapons I've ever used on horseback. And I don't really do too much horseback fighting, but this definitely is a class that would want you to utilise that. Still finding it. Alright, some harder enemies up here, let's have a look. There we go. Yeah, so you running charge up can do like a as I said, the guard, the shield guard is counter is just too good for this build. It's one of my favourite parts about it. So the next class that I'll be making is called the Dark Moon Knight class. It's a class based on the Dark Moon Greatsword with cold sorceries. It's a class that I completed the game and DLC with. It's a class I like quite a lot. I'll be putting all the build specs in the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching. And goodbye.
Hey!